Entitled Aunt gave my baby a piercing without asking, by user real_temporary 1436. Yes, it's exactly what it sounds like. I, 26F, had my first baby girl 3 months ago. We've been really cautious about visitors, basic hygiene, no kissing, you know the drill. My aunt, my mom's sister, came to visit last weekend. She's always been overbearing. She kept talking about how cute my baby would look with earrings. I brushed it off and said, we're not doing piercings for a while. Maybe when she's older and can choose. Apparently no meant ask forgiveness, not permission. I went to take a shower while my mom and aunt watched the baby. When I came out, my daughter was crying, and I saw the tiniest glint of gold on her earlobe. My aunt proudly said, surprise. I used my friend's gun kit. She barely felt a thing. I lost it. I told her she had no right. My mom was horrified too, she had no idea this was going to happen. We took my daughter to urgent care just to make sure there was no infection. I called my aunt the next day and told her she's not allowed near us for the foreseeable future. She cried to my mom about how kids these days are so dramatic and that she was trying to bond with her niece. No. You violated my child's body without consent. That's not bonding. That's assault. Entitled Mom demanded I give her my late brother's service dog, by user significant quote 986. My brother passed away 6 months ago. He was a veteran, and his service dog Max was trained for PTSD, mobility support, and seizures. Max is 6, incredibly well behaved, and still grieving. Since my brother passed, I've been caring for Max. I'm his legal successor according to my brother's will. Max is family now. Enter my cousin, 34F, who I haven't spoken to in over a year. She messaged me out of nowhere saying, I heard you have a service dog. You don't need that. My son has anxiety and could use a therapy dog. I explained that Max isn't just a therapy dog. He's a trained service animal with years of specialized work and legally, I'm his handler now. She replied, so you're choosing a dog over a child's mental health. Then she offered me $300 for him. $300. For a trained service dog who cost $20K and to train and has been through hell and back with my brother. I said no. She showed up at my door the next day with her son. I didn't answer. She called me cruel. Said I was wasting Max's potential. I told her the only waste here was her audacity. Entitled Parent wants me to change plane seats because my face scared her kid, by user dapper_environment 64. I, 24M, am visiting Boston for the week and just got off a 5-hour flight a few hours ago and I'm still kind of shaken up and upset. For context, a few months ago I had a procedure called an orbital exenteration, you can search that up if you want, for an aggressive cancer that left me with what is basically a hole the size of a pool ball where my right eye used to be. I typically don't wear any facial coverings or prosthetics to cover it because of how recent this was and how I'm still attempting to come to terms with the fact that I'm basically missing the upper half of the right side of my face. Anyways, on this flight I picked a window seat like I always and settle in, and not long after a woman boards with her husband and her son who's around 4/5 years old. Her husband has a seat in the row behind me and she and her son have the middle and aisle seats in my row. The moment her son saw me, he visibly recoils. I'm quite used to occasional glances and stares, and it doesn't bother me, but whenever I notice children looking scared of me, that always kind of hurts. I know kids don't have filters, I understand, but I was expecting his mother to just tell him to knock it off or something. Instead, she asked me, can you switch seats with my husband? My son's not exactly the most comfortable sitting next to you, I apologize. He's kind of scared here so it would really help us out. I told her that no, I wouldn't change seats because I wanted my window seat, to which she asked me a few more times before giving up and saying something along the lines of seriously? He's only a child, I just thought you might a little more sensitive. And that pissed me off. I am sensitive, I've been sensitive about my face since the day I got surgery, I've avoided photos, mirrors, and public settings all too often. But apparently I'm not sensitive enough for choosing my own comfort over a random child's. To be honest, for a while after that I had to hold in tears because my disfigurement embarrasses me, and oftentimes I'm so embarrassed I don't go out much, and this reminded me exactly why. I understand a child is a child and people will stare, but I just hate how she treated me as if I was doing something wrong by just existing. Anyways, I'm in Boston so yay, and I just hope that more parents would teach their kids that when they see someone who looks different, they're still normal people inside and don't deserve any different treatment than if they looked normal. Entitled Parent told me to stop speaking Spanish to my own child in public, by user our helicopter 2432. I'm Latina. My husband is white. Our 2-year-old is bilingual, we speak both Spanish and English at home. I was grocery shopping with my son when I started chatting to him in Spanish. We were just going over fruit names. Manzana. Platano. Fresa. It was cute. Out of nowhere, this woman, mid-40s maybe, turns around and says, "This is America. Speak English." I was caught off guard and just said, "I am bilingual." He's learning both. She said, "Well, I don't want my kid growing up around people who can't speak properly. It's confusing." I said, "That sounds like a you problem," and walked away. But she followed me to the next aisle. "I'm just saying it's rude. We all speak English here. You're in public." I looked her dead in the eyes and said, "You're in public, too. Why don't you mind your own damn business?" A nearby employee overheard and asked if I needed help. She backed off finally, muttering about entitlement. "Lady, I'm the one raising a child who speaks 2 languages. That's not rude, that's raising a global citizen. Try it sometime." Apparently ants need to pay child support, by user repulsive_com 9499. My brother's ex-GF told me I would be responsible for my brother's child support if she ever took him to court. She said her boss is a lawyer and she told her since I was living in the same house as my brother and he's unemployed I would owe child support. I laughed in her face because I thought she was joking but she was dead serious. I told her I'd see her in court. I'm the aunt by the way and have no parental rights whatsoever. I just graduated university and started my career. I don't pay for any of my brother's bills or expenses, my mom does. My mom also spends a lot of money on the kids and they are taken care of. I pay my own share of the rent and utilities. This is peak entitlement. So I can't pursue my own dreams of starting a family or having my dream life because I have to support hers.